What is up, Clarity community? Very special guest here today, Patrick from NMKR. We are excited to have him on, and today we're going to be discussing the Clarity NMKR integration and just having a few thoughtful questions posed to Patrick for him to answer. So, really, Patrick, welcome to the Clarity YouTube channel. First things first, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think it's very exciting that we finally get to record this video because it's been such a long time in the making, to be honest, with the whole integration. And I'm Patrick. I'm the founder of NMKR. I've been in Cardano since 2017 as a silent observer, and then in 2020 really started to get into it. And what else? I studied computer science, and maybe about NMKR, we're really focused on just making it easy for people to enter the space. So we're all about like onboarding. Oh, that's the second question. I took it already.
Continue.
Yeah.
Tell us more about how, NMKR obviously is a platform where anyone is able to create, in our case, governance tokens for DAOs, NFTs, all this stuff. So how do you guys make it easy? And tell us, give us the stats. How many Cardano native tokens have you guys minted? You guys are helping the space out so much. So tell us about it.
Yeah, so the stats are basically like this. We made more than 2.2 million NFTs and tokens, which is around like 20 to 25% of all the tokens on Cardano. I think those are quite a lot, and it really speaks to our main goal, which is essentially to just make it as easy as possible for businesses and creators and everyone to come in and launch their own project without having to know anything about coding. So you can literally just sign up, upload some files, and start selling NFTs, and it takes you 5 minutes ideally to do. And that's always the goal. We want to bring people in from the outside world. We don't want to just cater to the same little community, but we want to grow it as a whole, because that's the only way that we can grow crypto as a whole.
Yeah, we resonate with that so much. It's kind of like creating these no-code tools so anyone can do these complicated things on the back end, but making it simple on the front end. And I'm very excited for this integration. So to just touch a little bit more on the integration, Clarity is leveraging NMKR APIs so that we're going to have a marketplace where you can redeem for different governance NFTs or just project NFTs. And when you log on to the platform, pretty soon you'll be airdropped a Clarity NFT as well. And then the next iteration of the integration is that when someone creates an organization, you're going to be able to say whether you already have a token or if you don't have a token yet. And if you don't have a token, you're going to be able to fill out a simple online form where you can put in how many, what your total supply is, what the name is, and then it communicates with NMKR's infrastructure. So you're able to mint that token very easily. So yeah, hopefully, like Patrick was saying, this brings in a lot of new people into the space, because that's how we grow the pie, right? We want to bring these traditional communities to operate with decentralized governance, to have, reputation on chain, all that good stuff. So we're making our way there, and I think this integration pushes that needle a little in the right direction. So next question for you, Patrick, is why do you believe in blockchain?
So this is of course a very philosophical question, I guess, but to me, I think the core principle that I believe in is that everyone should have the same opportunities, and you can make different things out of these opportunities. You can be super successful. You can focus on like building a successful company. You can focus on maximizing for your personal health and whatever you like. Essentially, it doesn't matter, but everyone should have the same opportunities. And right now the world is very much like this, where we don't have the same opportunities. I'm extremely privileged in Germany, growing up in like a relatively above middle class family, essentially, so I can do whatever I like in the world in comparison to many, and you're the same, right? But there are many people who don't have these opportunities, and with blockchain we suddenly have one system for everyone, one system that everyone can use. And that's really powerful, because it doesn't matter if I'm growing up as a billionaire somewhere, or if I grow up very poor in like a third world country. I have the same system, and I can use the same tools. And of course, that's not 100% equal opportunity yet, but it's going into that direction. And I just want to see the world, what it could be when everyone has the same tools at their hands.
Yeah, absolutely. That resonates with me. One reason I really like blockchain is, there's a lot of noise in the world right now, and it's hard to discover truth and know what the truth is. So really, in my head, what blockchain is a ledger that communicates truth in a decentralized manner. There's no one person that controls it. So kind of this idea of the truth being a commodity that everyone in the world can access. I think that's a cool point of blockchain too. So kind of it may be a philosophical question again, but why do you believe in Cardano? You're obviously an entrepreneur in the space. I'm the same way. Why are you here, and what future are you building towards?
So very, very good question. And we probably don't really talk about this often enough. I think, there are two things that drew me to Cardano. One of them is that Cardano is very, very focused on decentralization at its core. It's not trying to be the fastest chain. It's not trying to be, the chain with the most applications. It's just trying to be the most decentralized chain as its number one priority. And I think that should be the number one priority for every blockchain out there. And the only other blockchain that is doing it like that is Bitcoin, actually. And many of those like super high growing chains like Solana, Polygon, etc., they're very centralized. They don't really care about that too much. And I think this is good in the short term for them, but in the long term, it will not work out. And with Cardano, I know, okay, we're building something that can sustain over time. And then the second part is, and this comes back to what we just talked about, the like equal playing field for everyone, that the community in Cardano is very different from the other chains, because there has been a community fostered which really cares about those core principles of crypto. It's like very similar to the early days of Bitcoin. In the early days of Bitcoin, nothing was about making money. It was all about basically replacing the financial industry. And Cardano has the same thing, and people here truly care about bringing people in and leveling the playing field for the whole world, and building things in India, building things in Africa, and so on. And I don't see that with like any other blockchains on this scale. So I think that's a very positive environment to work in. And it's just, if you have enough people who focus on that, then you might actually change the world. And if you have enough people just focusing on making money with meme coins, like on other chains sometimes, then that maybe is not the right path.
Yeah, that's been my experience as well with the Cardano community. It's like you obviously, there is the hype beast. There is people trying to create meme coins, and there's space for that. It drives adoption. That's fine. But there's also these people that have these huge ideas of putting GPS locations on the blockchain so that the supply chain can operate in a transparent manner. And it's like those type of ideas. You're just sitting in a breakout room on Catalyst, or you're in a Twitter space, and the Cardano community is talking about all these ideas of how to make the world a better place, which is really cool, in my opinion, less about price. Okay, so next question for you is, what is your opinion on DAOs?
So I think DAOs are a very interesting tool and very important. I talk a lot to brands and big businesses and so on, and trying to get them to come join Cardano or like blockchain in general. And there's always, these selling points. Why should you do something on a blockchain? And one of them is, of course, especially when talking with big brands, okay, why should you, for example, release your music on the blockchain instead of just releasing it on Spotify? And the cool thing about releasing it as an NFT is that you can take it on the blockchain, and you have a way to directly interact with your community and to have them participate in decisions about, for example, the band, or you have a way to directly reach out to them via airdrop, stuff like that. And for this to actually happen, we need to have this like DAO toolkit, and we need to have this available for them, because it's not feasible for every new musician to come in and like build their own DAO system, right? So and that's maybe I'm going ahead a little bit here, but that's really where clarity comes in my opinion. And I think that DAOs are very important in like this community building and community participation aspect. And then you can think this very small with just an artist, but you can think this very big on like a nation level scale. There's like everything is possible.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like DAOs can be a lot of things, whether it's, a band that wants to they have all their fans own their NFTs, right? They get early access to maybe some releases, or they put out, 20 cities that they could visit on their next tour, and the fans vote for which, the ones that get the most votes, they'll have the most, true fans there. So they'll go to those cities. That's just like scratching the surface. Could a DAO run a federal government? Yes, it could. I don't think the tech is there yet, but that's the dream one day. But yeah, DAOs can be great for building community, customer loyalty, customer feedback. I think DAOs will drip into a lot of different sectors. So we talked a little bit about the integration. Really, what it's all about is leveraging NMKR's technology to make it easy for people to redeem different prizes in the form of digital assets, get airdropped different prizes in the form of digital assets, and also be able to create their own collection. So the last question for you before we wrap up here is what would you like to see come to fruition as part of this integration and partnership?
So I think for me, the important part is to like have people not only launch NFT projects or token projects in general and then have them slowly die, but be able to give those projects from the get-go the tools to actually like interact with their community. And that has been really important for NMKR as a whole, like for a long time, because like at the moment people think about NMKR as a minting tool, right? It's only the entry point, but it's actually not only the entry point. We want to bring people in and then have project creators use NMKR over the whole course of their life, their project's lifespan, essentially, to like do things for their community. And because of that, I'm always looking for these integrations. And I think that clarity is essentially a vital kind of like, I wouldn't call it plugin, but like integration or toolkit that I can now take and give to people and say, look here, just use this. It's super easy to use. Do a DAO, do a vote, and so on. It takes you 5 minutes to set up essentially. And that's the cool thing about it. Like they just can do it. And that's what I want to see. I want to see more projects that actually use the blockchain like it's supposed to be used.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, what I want to see is the ability for people to go from, like you said, minting the token to having infrastructure around the token that engages their community, makes it a transparent kind of operation of whatever the community's up to. But yeah, so the minting service is vital, right? So the minting service, it's not something easy to build. NMKR provides that. And then now with this integration, what we're going to see is the ability to mint these tokens, distribute them to your community, and then you'll be able to have an easy to use governance system. So if you want to pull your community, have bounties, you'll be able to have treasury management around this token as well if the tokenized community does want to govern a treasury. And then there's also within the Clarity platform just autonomous community tracking and leaderboards. So hopefully we add a lot of utility to the tokens that are coming to the ecosystem with this integration. Patrick, any closing thoughts?
I'm just extremely happy that it's finally happening. I think this is so really, I mean, you are more than me, of course,
Yes,
because we've known each other for such a long time, and now it's finally there, and you can actually use Clarity. You can use NMKR in Clarity. It's amazing. So I really love it, and I just hope that the community sees these tools now and thinks, okay, wow, this is amazing, and let's use it to make the pie bigger.
Yep, absolutely. I hope the same thing. I hope we drive a lot of adoption with this integration with the tools we're building. So thank you, Clarity community, for listening to this latest YouTube video. Thank you, Patrick, for your time. Good luck with the rest of your month, your year, and we will chat with everybody soon.